Hello everyone, this is Wade from High Tech Legion, and in this video we're going to be giving you an installation tutorial on how to install a Z77 system with a standard ATX motherboard into the Silverstone Redline RL04 mid-tower computer case. The first thing I've done is I've installed the standoffs for a standard ATX motherboard and also put in the motherboard I/O plate. So let's move on to the next part and install the power supply. Here we have the power supply installed into the system. We placed it in onto the feet with the vent side, fan side down, and pushed it all the way back into the case, and then attached it with 4 screws that onto the back of the case itself. I also pushed the cable in through one of the cable management holes so that I can run it through, back through once the motherboard's installed next. So here we've mounted the Gigabyte Z77X UD4H motherboard into the system. It's a standard ATX motherboard, and we have a large Fantex heatsink on it, and it will easily fit into this case. You won't be able to necessarily use the mounts for the side fans on it, but it will fit with the side panel on, no problem. I've also connected the front panel connectors as well as routed the USB 3 cable in, plugged in the standard 24-pin ATX power connector and the 8-pin CPU connector in the top left corner there. Next, let's install a graphics card into the system. So the first thing we have to do is pop open the expansion slot cover here, and then we have to punch out the metal where the card is going to go. So in this case, the first slot is an X1 slot, so we're going to pop out the second and third slot on this, since it is a dual slot card. These are not replaceable, so once you pop them out, they are garbage. Then we simply will slide our graphics card into our PCI Express slot and screw it down with 2 screws, and then connect up the 6-pin PCI Express power cable, and the graphics card will be good to go. Okay, so we've got our graphics card installed, and the PCI Express power cable is hooked up to it. Next, let's install a 3.5-inch hard drive. What you're going to do is you're going to take out the tray from the back side, place your hard drive in, and line up the holes for the screws, and then put 2 screws in each side and slide your hard drive back into place. So here we have the drive secured into place with 2 screws on each side, and we can slide this back into the drive track and connect up our SATA power and SATA data connectors as usual. If we pull out another tray here, we can install a SSD into it, and that's done similarly, except you line up the tray with the 4 holes on the bottom of the tray here, and you use different screws for the SSD. They are a smaller screw here. You can install a 2.5-inch SSD or laptop drive if you happen to have one of those. So put the 4 screws in the bottom of this, and then slide this tray in, and you'll have your SSD installed. So both our 3.5-inch and 2.5-inch drives are installed into the drive trays on the system. Next, let's install a 5.25-inch drive into the front. First, what we're going to do is we're going to pull the clips that would hold the 5 1/4 inch drive in place off the side. Then we're going to squeeze the front cover here to pop it out of place. Slide the optical drive, in this case, into place, and then put our toolless connectors back on to the 5 1/4 inch drive to hold it into place. Once the toolless connectors are both back in place on the optical drive, it is in place nice and firm. It does not move around, and you can just connect up your data and power connector to the back of the optical drive or fan controller, whatever you're putting in the port, and you're good to go there. So here we have the completed build for the Redline RL04 case, mid-tower computer case from Silverstone. I hope you enjoyed the build tutorial for this case, and for the full review, please check out hightechlegion.com, www.hightechlegion.com, and don't forget to subscribe to our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Take care.